Hello, welcome to Late Night TV. I'm your host, Delaney Hiller. Tonight we are featuring a subculture that is known for expressing youthful rebellion. Yes, folks, I'm talking about punk rock. For the most part, punk rock took root in local scenes that tended to reject association with the mainstream. By late 1976, bands such as the Ramones, The Clash, and the Sex Pistols were recognized as the forefront of the new musical movement of punk rock. Now, I would like to introduce you to a new guest on this show who has known what it's like to grow up around the punk rock era. I would like to introduce to you Valerie Lee.
Thank you.
We are glad you are here. Now tell me, did growing up around punk rockers affect your decisions in life at all?
Well, I did hang out with friends that were punk rockers, though I was never influenced very easily. I made sure that whatever I wasn't comfortable with, I stayed away. On the other hand, I really enjoyed being with them.
Now, were you associated with the punk rock movement? And if not, did you find yourself around it a lot?
I definitely found myself around it. My sister is a punk rocker. I like to think I was, but I wasn't brave enough to do half the things that they were willing to do.
How popular was the punk rock movement where you lived in Palos Verdes, California?
Almost everyone at my school in California was associated with the punk rock movement. They were considered the it crowd. Although I hanged out with them, I don't consider myself a true punk rocker.
What was the difference between you and a true punk rocker?
Well, like I said, they were the it crowd, and they were very rebellious. Whatever was considered normal, they went against it. They didn't like following the rules, and none of them were considered goody-goody. They liked to follow their own rules. They're the ones who started the mohawk and stylizing it with black dye.
Ah! Now, how did punk rockers live during that era?
They lived without fear, and sometimes they lived together. Punk rockers, in a way, flocked together. You rarely saw one alone.
What was the difference between music during the punk rock era and after?
Music then, it was more rock than punk. And as the years moved on, they went to that whole screamo mode, and that I was never a part of.
I don't blame you. Are there any similarities from today that happened back then?
There are more differences than similarities. However, similarities would include that the main message of being a punk rocker was almost always going against the normal of everyone else. Punk rockers would flow against the current.
Well, that concludes our segment on punk rock. I would like to thank our guest, Valerie Lee, to give up her time and help us better understand the punk rock era of the movement. Yep, I know. Thank you for watching Late Night TV. I am your host, Delaney Hiller, and good night.